Hello guys, how are we doing? Today we are going to be looking at an AR player and trying to improve their position amongst the map to enhance their chances of winning the game. We're going to be looking at spawns and how to block spawns as a main priority. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say that thank you for the support with this series throughout Modern Warfare 2. I'm not going to be accepting any more submissions for Modern Warfare 2, but if you want an early submission for Modern Warfare 3, make sure you save the link, bookmark the link in the description for my form, and when rank play comes out, drop your gameplays and I will be reviewing them. Obviously, I'm not going to be reviewing any pubs, so unfortunately it will be until you will have to wait until rank play comes out, but in order to be able to submit any. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's get on with this. So obviously the normal format's going to stand. We're going to be reading through the form, getting a little bit of intel about the player we're going to be reviewing, and then we're also going to be going through the gameplay, scrutinizing every little bit, saying what's good, what's bad, and then a general conclusion and the expected potential of the certain player towards the end. So they're playing on today we're reviewing MB's gameplay. They're playing on a new gen console, probably PS5, considering their controls are PS5. They're playing 9 hours a week, which is actually on the lower end of people I've seen play. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not you can tell that they're a little bit rusty and don't have the game time. Their current rank is Plat 1. Their highest rank is Plat 1. And their settings is 8, 6, 100 and 200 FFE, 105 FFE, sorry, and 0.3 dead zone. So really decent settings. I'm assuming that's 0.03, because 0.3 dead zone would be horrendous. So if it's on 0.3, double check that. But yeah, sure, I'm assuming that's 0.03. Standard PS5, so not playing with the scuff. So I'm not expecting to see any cracked drop shot and movement, jumping, any of that sort of malarkey. But yeah, what would you like me to focus on in your gameplay? Proper rotation, holding and blocking spawns and positioning. And then he said they'll be working on my aim before Modern Warfare 3. Fine. And then just generally positioning. So let's get into the gameplay. So I did review this just to make sure there wasn't any profanities in the audio and make sure it wasn't just an absolute whitewash of a game and this guy was dominating. The game starts really strong for this team we're watching here. But it does fall off towards the end and it makes for a really close game. So you're probably going to see more tips towards the end of the gameplay compared to the front. But yeah, first thing I noticed is that when you transferred your spray, you kept hold of the trigger. I don't mind that because you hit your shots at the end of the day, but just bear in mind that when you let go of the trigger and re-trigger, start shooting your gun again, the recoil pattern resets and it makes it a little bit more easy to read. So if you do find yourself spraying a lot and you're missing your shots, it's probably because you've, the recoil pattern has just gone wanky. Basically, the longer you hold your gun down, the trigger down for the TAC 56, the harder the recoil is to control. It gets a little bit more horizontal. But what I'm noticing here initially is that you rotated 20 seconds ahead, which is fine. Your teammates have managed to get a decent amount of scrap time. My only concern here is you're holding the spawn. You're not blocking. You're blocking the back spawn, I suppose. You're blocking the back spawn. Your teammates just back spawn behind you. Good couple of kills here. Your shots seem fairly decent. I don't think your shots this would be something you work on. So the two major spawns of this point are bedroom and chandelier. If you're blocking both of those, they'll spawn mid. Your teammates blocking chandelier, so they're going to be coming from your left. So just bear that in mind, that if you've got someone chandelier, chances are they're going to be spawning bedroom. The only reason they'd be hitting mid right now, which is where you're pre-aiming, is if they wrapped all the way around mid, which I just don't think is going to happen. Maybe at a different elo, maybe at a higher elo, but generally speaking, I think you're playing gold players here. I don't think they're going to be wrapping. They're pretty much just beeline it. So yeah, a little bit of spawn knowledge there would have helped you a little bit, just knowing where they're going to be coming from. And yeah, I don't mind this. You're holding the cut. You're playing for the initial kills. I would rather see you do this with a sub, because the distance in which you're taking on the engagements are more beneficial as a sub. Obviously, you just want 2 kills. So who am I to say you're doing it wrong? Generally speaking, you don't want to be doing that with an AR. That's a sub role. I have noticed you've got Deady on there. I wouldn't have mind to see you a little bit mobile there. Pop the dead silence, get kills, string some kills together, and you'd have been laughing. What I'd have preferred to have seen you do, if you're playing the main AR role and you are conscious about spawns and blocking, bedroom spawns are the spawns you want, which you've managed to obtain anyway, but just to guarantee that you get those spawns. And you're playing this really well, by the way. The entry into the hill is really good. You're taking your time. You're not just diving in there and you're trying the wall bangs. I like that. But yeah, play that back hot tub, block the back bed spawns, and then you can always push through. But yeah, I don't mind that. It just wasn't enough support on the team. And by the time this hill's come to a close, you're pretty much even on the score count. So But yeah, that's fine. You rotated. You're in spa, so they're going to be. If you get any kills from now, they'll be spawning bedroom. So yeah, I like this. You're using the headies, using the environment to your advantage. I think you just hear them. You saw a guy bottom bed, but you chose to ignore him. I assume you thought you heard someone on the left. Nice, you're not really seeing much here. I think you assume they're just going to be coming from the left. Nice, very good shots. Like, I don't think your shots need too much attention at all. And now they're spawning behind you. So, right here, obviously you know they're spawning behind you. You know your teammates pushed out bed, and they're going to just for the entirety of this hill. Chances are they're going to be spawning here. If they spawn out bedroom, they're going to end up rotating anyway. So I don't think this is going to be a cause of concern. But yeah, your teammates on the hill, you don't necessarily need to be there as well. You don't need to be sat here. You can back up, stare glitch, the head glitch here behind you, or just jump up on the god heady where my cursor is just here, and you can see over into where you're watching anyway. That's a god spot. There's a reason it's called god heady. So yeah, I'd like to see a little bit of a different positioning. Yeah, and that was a wild chow. There was no, you don't want those spa spawns. There's no reason to push that out. You'd have been much better off just waiting a little bit more patiently and yeah. You've been out rotated for the first time. So I think we're 60 points up, and you've chowed at new, which is fine, but you just didn't have the support of your team, unfortunately. So he wasn't there to get the trade. But let's see how we retake P5. So you've seen on the kill feed an enemy member, take down a couple of your teammates mid. So you're premoing that. I like that. Good read. I'd have probably done the same. There's one thing I do want to say. Your movement seems pretty good. Like, you're not doing too much. You're not doing too little, and it just seems just the right amount. I like this read. They're going to have spawned. Chances are one of them would have spawned back bed sort of side. Yeah. See, I think you just need to be a little bit more trusting of your read. I know there's certain reason here that you don't do perfectly. Yeah, that's just unfortunate timing. Your teammates didn't win their gunfights, and you were the last one to stay alive. So, yeah, what else can you do? Okay, moving on to P6. See, my advice is to ensure you get these back bed spawns, which you're not just sat at the hill, you're sort of playing out through the hill as well here, which I do like. The only reason I like these back kitchen spawns is because you can see the entire hill basically from back kitchen, other than that one little corner next to bedroom. But yeah, your main goal here is to spawn them back P4, which is where you spawned essentially before running here, which is I think what they're doing. But my only problem with this position, so this position in here is fine. But like you say, they're going to be spawning P4. They can run bottom bedroom. They can run luggage and flank you, especially considering your teammates. You don't have an AR sat back here. As an AR in this position, if you can get a teammate sat on hill, which is what you have, you can sit like these waterfalls. You can lay down on one of the waterfalls, and you'll be able to see anyone flanking bedroom. You'll be able to see anyone pushing around for your teammate here. As long as your teammate stays in this corner and you're watching over him with the AR, you should be getting decent kills and you should be getting decent hill time. The problem with this is that people can contest. They can sit on this corner opposite your teammate here, the other side of your teammate. You can't see them. That's my only thing I don't like about this position. And as I say, you've been flanked. You can take a step back. You don't need to be in the hill every time you're defending the hill. Yeah, lay a little bit outside the hill. You've got an AR. You've got decent shots. Trust your shots and just watch over your teammate. So yeah, he probably gets the teammate because he's not expecting it. Yeah. That's right, that's fine. So you've lost 30 seconds there. I don't know if you regain the point whatsoever. Yeah, like you said, you've spawned bottom bed. You're tempted to run bottom bed, so the chances are that's what they would have done anyway. So, yeah, that's probably exactly what happened when the guy flanked you. That guy needs a new headset. Okay, so you break for 13. I'm not too fussed about that because at the end of the day, P1's the next hill, and on this map and a few maps, to be fair, it's a very 50-50 hill. But I like this. You're already thinking about new. You're already maintaining those P2 spawns. Nice. Traded your teammate out. You get out with your life, which is very important. You're not. So you're using Deady. which I don't usually like, but I don't think a grenade has hurt you too bad. Right there, obviously you know he's not here. Chances are, if you're thinking probabilities-wise, he's either between the sofa heady or the ticket booth in the corner. You can wall bang this white panel through ticket booth, so if you wanted to check ticket booth, you could just by shooting. But again, you've got a stun, you've got a nade, throw them. Like, it's easy intel, easy damage, and even a kill. Like, you may have broken that if you're throwing your nades. Yeah, so they're still on P1. There is no way they should be getting any sort of time on P1 like this. I think people lead to on P1 on this map anyway. People aren't quite as selfless as they could be. They're not willing to bait for their team. They're not willing to get out there. But yeah, you had your stun, you had your nade, you had ample opportunity to get information and damage out, so you could eventually break that hill. But yeah, from a 60-point lead after a bunch of the first sets of hills, we're now even. We're now even. Oh, so that's really rough. I'm not sure where your teammate went here. So I sort of get this. They're coming from old. Your teammate's watching your right. You don't really need to be too concerned about it. Granted, this guy gets in, but he doesn't kill you. This guy kills you. So it's just not great. Your teammate didn't have your side. You didn't have to be on hill here again. So this positioning was fine. You can literally lay down here. You don't need to be pushed up any further than this, because if you look at the minimap here, you're taking on gunfights from your right, but if people chow through chandelier, you're dead. And that's exactly what happened here. If you're on the stairs, your teammate's still getting hill time. This is what I'm saying. If you've got someone on hill, let them sit on a hill. There's no reason you can't be off the hill at this point. So yeah, that's all I'd say. Maybe stay, sit on the stairs, watch on the heady. You've got 2 head glitches basically either side, so yeah, that'd have been fine. So you check that corner, no one's there. How do you approach this? Shots there, they're going to expect you here now. Yeah, okay, you got a kill. That's actually not bad. You managed to get into the hill, get a kill, and at that point you should hope that your teammate just trade until you get control of the hill, which is essentially what happened, but your teammate got a 3-piece. I mean, fair play. Nice, that actually wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Your positioning could be a little bit better there, but as I say, that's something you wanted me to focus on a little bit anyway, so as long as you understand what I'm sort of saying, just that's brilliant. So, we move on to the next P3. Now, you guys had a hard time of breaking this last time, so I'm surprised you're letting them... Yeah, you don't need this guy. You don't want to win this gunfight. You do not want to win this gunfight. So, let's say he rechows this and you kill him. He spawns closer to the hill. If you die here, you potentially spawn closer to the hill. So realistically, you're probably better off killing yourself than, killing him. Let's say you ran away. Let's say you didn't engage in this gunfight. You managed to get to the hill. The hill is now... there's 2 people already there. It's a 3v3 on the hill. You don't kill this guy. It's a 3v3 on the hill. And he's actually blocking this spawn for you. So whilst he's alive, he's blocking this deep back spawn for you. And you don't want these spawns anyway. So he's actually doing you a favour by pushing hill last second. But yeah, nice. But you're playing for the cuts. I'm not sure this is the right thing to do. You don't want these spawns. There's no reason you should be fighting for these spawns. This kill is almost meaningless. I get you closer streaks, which may be meaningful. But generally speaking, you get this kill, nothing changes for this hill whatsoever. Yeah, and you end up falling anyway. So yeah, he's just chased you there. But you see, you spawn new, and now it's a 4v4 at the hill. You could have made it, yeah, you break it anyway. But yeah, my main point there was that your gameplay wasn't influential as much as it could have been anyway. So again, you're playing very tight corners with an AR, and if you had a decent SMG chow you there, chance are you there, but it's paying off. Who am I to say you're doing something wrong if it's actually paying off in your favour? So yeah, your shots are good. I'm honestly surprised you're a peak platinum player. Your gameplay doesn't reflect that whatsoever. A bit windy. A little bit windy shots there, but that's fine. Up to this point, your shots have been mostly decent, so... What gun is he using? That sounded bizarre. Okay, moving on. You've got a terrible spawn. You've got pretty much the worst one imaginable for this hill. Good read on the guy at marble desk there, or main desk, whatever you want to call it. Nice. Instead of challenging the hill front on, you've decided to take a step back, get on a heady, reposition yourself, and get the kills. That was perfect. That's exactly what I like to see. So, just as a little reminder, the two major spawns on this hill are bedroom or spa. If you are sort of blocking the bedroom spawn, they will spawn spa. If you're blocking spa spawn, they'll spawn bedroom. If you're blocking both, they will spawn mid. Okay, so just bear this in mind when we're watching this through. So, you've just got 2 kills here. Your sort of bedroom side, right? Your sort of bedroom side, they're already round the back because the teammates just fell around this sort of area. So, your head now should be that, okay, those 2 are going to be spawning spa. Okay? That's what should be happening in your mind. Any kills you do get will get them to spawn spa. Yeah, unfortunately, they push through spa and wipe your teammate off of it. You're obviously unaware, and they managed to get you as well. Okay. Okay, so your teammate's done a very good job there. Your teammate's underrated challenge there has actually managed to benefit you. But what I'd have liked to see here is you just got 2 down. You know they're not spawning bedroom because one has just got a kill here and you're this side anyway. You could have, as I say, you've just jumped up here and there's no cover here. You can get on this god heady, see into spa, and you're contesting, you can get time, do what you will. But they can still win on this. You don't want to, I sort of get you're probably running through here to rotate to new. So you probably expected your teammates to be there, but in your head, you should know that they're all spawning spa, so they're going to keep challenging this. They can win off this, they'll chall it. You can win off this, they're going to have to chall it. So yeah, should have been a read, but it's not the worst thing in the world. For them to get to new before your teammate, they'd have had to run a country mile. So yeah. Nice. Nice. Good. That's very good gameplay. The fact that you put some damage out. So this is brilliant. Let's just take a look at this. This is almost perfect gameplay right here from the position you're in, obviously. 2 decent kills, good movement out of it. Put enough damage in him for him to be a bit scared, not to push. And then you run while you get the break. Perfect. Not giving away your life. Good gameplay. Okay, so there's a couple of things which obviously you can work on. You end up with an absolutely stunning finish to the game, actually. Where do you go? 37-15 with a minute and 11 in all. Good gameplay in my book. So let's take a little bit of a step back. What was good? What was good about the gameplay? So first off, your shots were decent. Your movement was decent. And your rotating to new was generally decent. So I will put a little bit of an asterisk on that. So yeah, your shots mostly clean. It wasn't until really the end, the latter half of the gameplay where your shots started to go a little bit weighty. Your movement was good. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. It was enough to keep you alive in certain situations, but it wasn't too much in that it would get you killed because you're YYing too much, for example, or you've got your knife out too much. So your movement was really good. And yeah, your rotating to new was good. So when you rotated, most of the time you didn't actually get the spawns you should have been getting, but you managed to rotate. So my good point here is the fact that you were conscious of the time. In your head you rotated, and that is a plus in my books. So yeah, 3 main things which I actually don't see many diamond or even crimson players do to this level. So as I say, I'm very surprised you're platinum, but it might just come down to the fact you only play 9 hours a week. I can guarantee you if you put in the time, you'd be flying. But yeah, anyway, moving on to what could be done a little bit better. So although you are rotating to new, you are then rotating to new, and then you're not holding you're either holding a cut, which isn't quite as influential as it needs to be for the team. You're not actually blocking the good spawns, and therefore the enemy team are getting the good spawns. Just like here, so you do manage to get a couple kills here, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But I'd have liked to have seen you sit back kitchen. Your teammates would only really have to watch these 2 areas here. But yeah, you're not blocking spawns, and so when you're rotating, you're sort of firefighting almost straight away. You're playing sort of the role you're playing with an AR a lot of the time, which is what's happening right here, is the role of like the roaming SMG, where you'd pop deady, you'd run around between the hardpoint and their spawn, and you'd just be that aggravating player to come against. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how you fare with an SMG. But yeah, additional to that, I think your spawn reading could be better. Obviously, spawns are quite complex in this game. blocking, spawns, squad spawns, they're all a part of it. It's not the easiest thing to read. There are certain situations that if you took the time to learn them, obviously the game's coming to a close anyway, so it's probably not worth your time, unless you wanted to bosh it out. But yeah, it's probably not worth your time, but learning spawns would have given you an easy win on this game. You can shoot better than the enemy team, you can play your life better than the enemy team, you can move better than the other enemy team. The only problem is you're giving them good spawns, and you're not reading where they are spawning most of the time. So yeah, they're just getting through the cracks. A good example of that is what happened right at the end of the gameplay, where you didn't read the spar spawn and you almost won, but luckily your teammate contested. So this is an interesting one. Potential. I'm going to say the potential. I'm going to give my reasons why. So I think you could be a Crim player easily. Now my main reason for saying that is because, one, you only play 9 hours a day, and two, you shoot, move, and rotate better than half the diamonds and crimsons I see, or at least play with in the EU lobbies. Obviously, your shots aren't perfect. You could be shooting better, and this is against gold team. So I do understand that sometimes, you know, I don't know what it's like when you come across a diamond player. Do they shoot better than you? I'm not sure. But from what I'm seeing right here in this gameplay, which is obviously all I can judge your gameplay by, you shoot really well, and yeah, you've got the ability, you've got the talent required to get to Crimson. But I think all it needs is a little bit of more spawn knowledge, a little bit more time put into the game. Obviously, if you can only play 9 hours, you can only play 9 hours. But you're cracked. You're good. I don't think you should actually worry yourself whatsoever. I'm not surprised you went 37 to whatever it was you went. But yeah, solid gameplay. Really think you're a decent player. And yeah, I think a lot of players here may have, you know, watching this, might actually be able to learn from what you're doing here. But yeah, good gameplay. Thanks for submitting. If you have any questions, obviously, you can DM me on Twitter, reply to this, you know, comment on this video, or yeah, that pretty much covers it. So enjoy the rest of the day, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned from it, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.